Speaker, to the Minister of Transport, is he confident that the government has done everything possible to provide sufficient high-quality bus, rail and ferry services during the Rugby World Cup?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, yes, in the time the government had available to it, that is the case. The government funded and completed the scheduled infrastructure improvements and, of course, subsidises public transport services. However, as I said in answer to the previous question, it's clear that last Friday the sheer volume of people attempting to use the services in the afternoon and early evening exceeded everybody's expectations, leading to significant operational issues. I reported that I met the Mayor and Auckland Transport this morning, and they are committed to ensuring additional capacity is made available over the rest of the tournament.
Gareth Hughes.
To the Minister, will the Minister apologise to the people of New Zealand? And wasn't the transport fiasco on the opening night of the Rugby World Cup caused by systematic underfunding of the trains and buses by successive governments?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, in answer to the second part of the question, no. And I think the reality, though, is that to an extent the member is correct in that infrastructure takes a long time to put in place. And, for example, there's been some suggestion that electric trains should have been made available at the time of the Rugby World Cup. Well, the decision to not do that was made by the previous Labour Greens government in 2007 when they announced their initial regional fuel tax to fund new trains. They declared, and in fact the former Minister of Transport declared, that they would not be available in time for 2011 because it would be too risky.
Supplementary.
Phil Twyford, supplementary.
What were the backup public transport plans if buses or trains were to break down during the Rugby World Cup that he referred to in June in relation to the ARTA report?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, there were significant backup plans available, including a number of, if you like, reserve buses, and tens of those. But again, I think it is fair to say, and in defence of the people in Auckland who were charged with providing the services, it is fair to say that the demand was unprecedented and certainly greater than anybody anticipated, including notably that ARTA report.
Gareth Hughes.
Given the Minister keeps referring to this unprecedented demand, isn't it the case that the government regularly underestimates the demand for trains, as they did last Friday, or as they've done in their recent review of the CBD rail link business case?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, I'm not sure what political point the member is trying to make there, except I would point out that it's hard to justify the CBD rail link on the same basis as Transport last Friday, because Transport last Friday was free, and I'm not sure whether the member is suggesting that somehow travel on the CBD rail link should be free.
Entry.
Gareth Hughes.
Why will the Minister not approve funding for the CBD rail link, which would hugely improve the already pretty dire reliability of the entire Auckland rail network and would have avoided one of the most serious problems that occurred on the opening night of the Rugby World Cup?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, I appreciate that for the member every solution, the answer to every problem is the CBD rail link, no matter what it is, including potentially some non-transport problems. But the reality is that if the answer is a $2.4 billion rail link in order to get some people from town down to Eden Park, then I think we're asking the wrong question.
Entry.
Gareth Hughes.
To the Minister, will the Minister commit to an independent review of what happened on Friday night?
The Honourable Stephen Joyce.
Mr Speaker, Auckland Transport and Auckland Council are conducting a review currently. They are putting together a report and mitigations. The government will assess that review when it receives it during the next 24 hours.
Supplementary.
Gareth Hughes.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Minister, I ask again, will the Minister apologise to the people of New Zealand? And why did you, the Prime Minister, the Rugby World Cup Minister, give repeated assurances over the last couple of years that Transport would work on the night, contingency plans would be successful, yet you're now passing the buck faster than a Sonny Bill Williams offload to Auckland Council?
I think the questioner asked, why did he not
I appreciate the member's confidence in both my rugby playing ability and my physique, but I suspect he's wrong on both counts. Mr Speaker. Okay, perhaps I'm close to Sonny Bill Williams, but Mr Speaker, The reality is that I made the point in the member's primary question that the level of demand was unexpected by all parties, and that was one of the primary reasons I understand for the operational issues that occurred on Friday, and Auckland Council and Auckland Transport are working hard to address those.
Point of order, Gareth Hughes.
Mr. Speaker, I wasn't referring to his physique in any of the question. In fact, he didn't answer any part of the question, Mr. Speaker.
Well, I couldn't. The member's question was quite out of order anyhow. He referred to the Speaker during his question, asked why you didn't do something, and but I let the Minister answer it. Point of order, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to make it clear I wasn't suggesting that you should get your shirt off, sir. I think we've seen enough of that.
Just as well. Order. I think the member seeking a further supplementary question?
No, it's a separate point of order, sir.
Oh, point of order, Gareth Hughes.
Mr. Speaker, I seek leave to table research from the Parliamentary Library. It's an 8-page document with assurances by the Prime Minister, Rugby World Cup Minister and Transport Minister that everything would be fine on the night.
Order. This document is prepared by the Parliamentary Library.
Sir, it's a collection of press clippings over the last 2 years.
No, we don't. We don't table press clippings. Question number 12, the Honourable Damien O'Connor.
Thank you, Mr.